This is Smack Talk Podcast. It's your boy, the Big Kid. Today we got a special guest, Mr. Ty Morrison, Tyron. I don't know what you go by.
That's cool,
Ty,
man. It's
Tyron.
Ty. It's Ty, man. That's cool. That's cool, man.
Yeah, this is going to be a little special edition. It's real special to me. He was my barber instructor at Alamo City Barber College. He still opened a gym for us to hoop. You got a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
So go ahead, tell people about yourself a little bit.
Yes, man. My name's Ty I call myself Tyron Morrison, but it's so hard. People say Tyron, they like Tyrone, so
yeah.
Cut it short. Let's say Ty. But Ty Morrison, man. I'm 34 years old. I've been a barber, professionally a barber. You know, you gotta say that because people say I've been a barber for 30 years, and they don't talk about the difference of getting licensed.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that because I want to ask you about that. Actually,
all right, cool. So for 12 years, I've been a barber instructor. I've been a barber and 5 years a barber instructor. Man, before then, I've been cutting hair since I was like 13, man. 13, 14.
That's why you're so cold.
I guess so, man. And I didn't have all the tools that's what's now. You know, I just had clippers, man. Walmart clippers, man. Ones from Ross, TJ Maxx, you know, the ones that say Con Air, you know, no disrespect. But you know, the ones that's cheap, man. But this is the crazy thing about it. When I was 4 years old, man, I was in a barbershop getting my hair cut. And I knew that day, I told myself I'm going to be a barber at 4 years old.
For real?
I kid you not, man. I was on the base in North Carolina. That's where I'm from, North Carolina. I was on the base and sitting there, and I seen the older gentlemen. Because back in the days, it was older guys that was barbers, man. And they was cutting, man. I just sound the clippers, the atmosphere. I said to myself, I'm going to be a barber. And then after that, me and my brother, I got a twin brother. Mm-hmm. So the funny thing about it was I used to get the Hot Wheels cars, get toilet tissue around his neck for the neck strip, a towel, and I act like I was cutting his hair. And at like 7, 8 years old, I was like acting like I was cutting. And then from there, man, my life transpired, and man, I'm doing what I'm doing now, man, and I enjoy it.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Dang. So you from the East Coast?
East Coast, man. Small town called Goldsboro, North Carolina. A lot of people might know about the Air Force Base out there, Seymour Johnson Air Force Base.
Okay, I know that place.
So that area right there, man. Matter of fact, my house is the takeoff spot where the all the planes and jets come.
Yeah.
My house is like not that far from it, man. And so born and raised there. I have a twin brother. I have an older sister. My mom played a major role in my life, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. She took care of us, and even though I knew there were certain moments in my life where the struggle came, she was transparent, but she was a superhero at the same time with it. She shared with us the struggle, but she told us that we can get past this. So, and she never let us settle for less. When it comes to our grades, man, my mama said, "Don't you bring a C in this house. You bring a C in this house, you're going to see me whoop that tail." That's what it was. and she will whoop me if I had a C on my progress report. See, progress reports.
Crazy. That's midway.
Look, progress reports will never be on the report card from all your grades. Man, I bring a C in the house. It's over with. But I'm glad she set the standard for my life because she said you're smarter than that. If you have a C, that means you're settling for what you could make a B or an A. When she told me that, it set the standard for my life and everything that I do. You know what I'm saying? So that's the awesome part about that.
I always thought you was from like Alabama or Mississippi.
That's the thing. I transitioned, man. So I was born in Carolina. Then when I turned 12 years old, my mom decided to move to Mississippi because we wanted a different life. She felt like it was a big move because one of her best friends was in Mississippi.
Okay.
And so we used to come down to Mississippi. Matter of fact, we used to come down and visit I call my cousins because they was in Carolina with us, but they moved first to Mississippi.
Okay.
So we came and visited. My mom liked it, and from there started my 6th grade year in Mississippi, man. And man, it was cool, man. It was a struggle, man, but it was cool.
Different.
More
country.
Yeah, more country, man. I thought I was country. You know,
Mississippi
is country, but I enjoyed the move that my mom made. Allow me to see life different, go through different things in my life. But I enjoyed it, man. I made new friends, met new people, and I grew. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get a little off topic.
Nah, come on, let's go with it.
So the thing is, we're the same age.
Okay.
Now, I
All right.
always knew we was the same age before,
Bet.
but then when you said your age, I'm like, yo, we're the same. It clicked in my mind, like, yo, we're the same age.
Bet.
Think about all the people that are 34 years old, right?
Right.
A lot of them not doing what we're doing.
True. You're right.
It's crazy.
You're right.
And this is why me and Mr. Charlie, I always talk about education. Education is big, and you touched on education, right?
Yes.
Education plays a big part in my life,
It does.
in your life, because look where it took you to today. And I'm not talking about just elementary, middle school, high school, college. I'm talking about just in life, period.
Yes.
Your mom taught you something without even being a quote unquote teacher.
Right. Life experience. If you think about the African community, the Black community, when there's a lack of education, that means there's more of violence. There's more of, I say, more time. And you say, what does that mean? We all have the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm busy putting 2 or 3 hours in business, in ministry, in school, educate myself, and then somebody else has 2 or 3 hours of nothing no purpose,
mm-hmm.
that means you allocate your time to be available for
mm-hmm.
violence, for drugs and things like that. And thank God I never went that route.
Facts.
Because I know the, not trying to get off topic, but the
Keep
rap game and how we portray ourselves on media, and we say we listen to the violence, but then when it comes to our real life, we are set up like this.
Mm-hmm.
That means I go back home to my family.
Mm-hmm.
I go back home to being, educator or whatever. But I think we're almost, what's the word? Hypocrites, man.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Big.
It's a big hypocrite, because we say we want to help our community, but the music we listen to hurts and damages our community,
mm-hmm.
both spiritually and physically. Spiritually meaning that we don't see nothing else but the physical and the spiritual parts of our life, where God really want to reach us at. We are so damaged naturally that it affects us for reaching God. And so I gotta, and I'm a minister.
mm-hmm.
I'm a minister. I'm a youth pastor. I'm everything in the ministry, because I wanted to be different. And this is crazy, man. God called me to preach at 15 years old. And so I was in middle school. You know how it was in middle school. That
mm-hmm.
was the time of testosterones. You're getting to know who you are as a person, get to know everybody else. The pressure of life, plus the pressure of becoming, going back to becoming a spiritual being, and God know my purpose, was a very challenging place in my life. I dealt with, going to church and still dealing with personal things that I, had to come home to. But through the midst of that, I kid you not, to anybody this, through the midst of that, God told me it's going to be okay. In the midst of me struggling with sin, struggling with living for Him, he still told me, you'll get past this place in your life, because it's part of growth. Dang. So I tell everybody, don't forget that wherever position God puts you in your life, it's a place called growth. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What makes a person, I could say retarded or have a slow pace of, comprehension, is because they're stagnated somewhere. And so we can be, I'm educated, man. I have my degrees and stuff like that, but I still can be quote unquote retarded, meaning that I'm not elevating myself enough to educate myself to become better every day.
That's
my personality and everything, man.
So I'm gonna give y'all a little insight to me, right?
Okay.
So I actually grew up in foster care.
Wow. I know
a lot of people don't even know that because of the way I act.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I grew up in foster care from a baby to 10 years old. Then 10, I moved in with my mom. I only lived with my mom 6 years out of my life.
Wow.
Right? So in between, because you talk about stagnant and people not growing.
Mm-hmm.
So I always had to move forward. So like the whole middle school stuff, right? I had to be a man. So I was always moving forward.
Wow.
Back then it sucked, right? It sucked. Like I was trying to play sports, trying to play basketball. It was terrible, right? Because I didn't play. I didn't have the opportunity.
Yeah.
But I was taller than everybody. Mm-hmm. So I worked so hard, and by 8th grade, I was on varsity.
Wow.
Because I kept moving forward. I didn't let with home, and I just didn't stop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
At the end of the day, I didn't stop. I don't want to get too much into it.
Yeah.
But I didn't stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dang, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So Now you're a barbershop owner.
Yes, so my first time here in San Antonio, a barbershop owner.
What was your first shop?
My first shop was in Mississippi, Kingdom Cuts. Matter of fact, right there, Kingdom Cuts, man.
Yeah.
This. I'm telling you this as quick as possible, you know. But um, I graduated high school. I left high school to move to Alexandria, Louisiana for ministry school.
Okay.
Because I was trying to get my
It's
my
crazy because I
degree.
remember that.
Yeah, in
I remember what
theology.
people tell me. So
Yeah, so I was trying to get my degree in theology and everything. That was a crunch moment of my life because it didn't work out. I think it was weird. I wasn't as focused like I needed to be. My
young.
heart, I was young and working at McDonald's, man, and just trying to grind. I was on my own. Me and my brother was on our own, working, do what we had to do. So we grew up pretty. I say grew up pretty quick, but we grew up in a time needed to be 18 years old to be on your own. Through that, long story short, I left Alexandria. I was there for like maybe 2.5 years. Left there, went back to Mississippi, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to school, get my barber license. And so I went. It was school in Gulfport called J&J Hair Design College. Went up there, and I decided to say, you know, let me get my license. I got my license, man. I was working, you know, don't do this, guys, but a lot of barbers do this. They go to barber college and work at a barber shop. So this guy,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I
man.
had to do what I had to do,
figured,
man.
Look, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's illegal in the state's eyes.
Yeah.
But you're not selling no illegal drugs.
Yeah,
so
that's
you
right.
gotta do what you gotta do.
You know, and so I got the opportunity to work at a barber shop. This gentleman named Pat, I call him Pat. He brought me in with just me and him. So I had an opportunity. A lot of people don't know in Pascagoula area, like the Gulf Coast area, that's when the influx of the Latino community came in around 2008, 2009. So I was a young little kid, just, you know, blended in. I was young but old. That makes sense. So my age was old, but I was young at heart.
They say you got the old soul.
The old soul, man.
Yeah.
And I end up just building my clientele. The crazy thing about it, my clientele diversity, I had 60% Latinos and 40% African Americans.
God prepared you for San Antonio.
He prepared me for San Antonio, man. And I know as a barber instructor, a lot of people dealt with cutting straight hair, you know, or vice versa, depending on your strength. And so I think I was like, not the first, I'm never going to say the first, but I was the one that I with the recognition of everybody else in that city, I was the one putting those cuts on those Latinos, designs, mohawks, whatever.
People be scared of straight hair for some reason.
Yeah, and it's techniques to it, but I worked it out, man. I was there grinding, went to school in the morning. After I got out of school, I went straight to the shop, cutting hair, built my clientele up, man. I ended up transitioning from the shop and getting my own. I had a small suite, and it was just me by myself, man. It's called Kingdom Cuts. The Lord gave me the name because I was like, you know, I want something that represents God in everything I do because He blessed me with the skills and techniques to bring something that's in your mind into reality. You know what I'm saying? So I can see a haircut on somebody saying, this is how your edge up should be. This is the type of cut and style that you need. And I can bring that into existence with my hands and nothing but God. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
And so because of that, I said I need to name something that represents His kingdom on earth. And because I'm going to reach everybody that sits in my chair, that's all different walks of life that will sit in your chair, from the poor to the rich, from the blue collar to the white collar, to the blacks, the Latinos, to the Caucasians, all races, all walks of life sits down in your chair. And I realized that I wasn't just giving them a haircut, I was giving them an experience.
Yes.
And so it's a difference. You know, I realized that when you just cut somebody's hair and just give them what they want, but don't connect a relationship with them, that means that you lose touch from the clientele. So I realized that my personality, my smile, my laughs, making them feel comfortable from the first time to the next time, that I want to make sure that I impact them with something special, marking my cut on them, but marking a position in their lives. And so from there, man, my business started growing.
Touching their soul.
Touching their soul, man.
I
touching
mean-
them, man. And from there, man, the business started growing. I ended up adding another barber with me, Jermaine Lett. He been with me since 2010, and Me and him just separated last year when I closed my shop in Mississippi last year. I'm gonna get to that point, but he was with me since then, man.
Dang.
He always told me in barber college, I want to work with you. He's seen something in me.
That's the. So when me and Mr. Charlie go to these schools, right? Because with the Alamo, we went to Cut and Shave, we went to Paul Mitchell.
Right.
I tell them, I said, everybody wants to be in competition.
Yeah.
You know, healthy competition is cool.
Right.
But find your business partner in here.
Yeah.
You can start it now, and it's a perfect time to start it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because you have the time. You're in school. School boring sometimes.
Yep.
So y'all can start your brand in here.
That's right.
Y'all can become best friends.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm
yes.
saying?
Yes.
And then while not only you doing that, you can be watching other people to hire. Business.
Man, it's business. You're right. That's the best time. That's the best time because you're not intimidated. Because when you get into a barbershop, you know the experience.
Yeah.
You're intimidated by the ones who has the veteran experience, and so you're reluctant or intimidated based on how good my cuts are. I tell people this, like, with my experience, man, I say like everybody want to be I'm the best barber. No, you're the best barber in your area. You're the best barber at your shop.
For your clients.
For your clients. You only for your clients. I'm not intimidated by the barber that's 15 miles down the road or even a mile down the road because my clients are my clients. You know what I'm saying? So my effect that I have on my clients, if they stay or go, they have been marked by my presence.
People too envious, jealous. It's too much of it. I don't understand. And it's another thing I see at the colleges. It's over 1 million people in San Antonio.
Yeah.
UTSA had 34,000 students enrolled in the fall semester.
Come on.
It's not 34,000 barbers in San Antonio.
No.
There you go.
No.
Stop worrying about this, that.
Yeah. You see,
it's people.
It's people. I mean, I'm on 410 and Marbach. You know, where people consider that's the rough side of town.
I love that side.
And you know what? I'm glad I'm there because most people go to these. I'm not knocking no shops, and hear me, but God placed me in places where people need me. See, I'm not needed just for a haircut. If you go into a business saying, I'm going to just cut hair and make money, you're not going to last long.
You limit yourself.
You will lose clientele. You will limit yourself. And the capacity at which you can really grow, you strengthen yourself. You put yourself in a container and close the lid. See, I took myself out of the container and took the lid off and to say I want to be as much infinite space as possible, thinking above to say I'm not in competition with nobody but myself.
Exactly. Don't get me wrong. I look at other people's podcasts.
Yes.
I look at other people's whatever they doing.
Right.
In amazement. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's dope. You know, I'll do that. Like, I wish I could do that. You know what? Thank you for the idea. And it's not like, oh, they suck.
Yeah,
oh, that's terrible. I'm not like that.
Yeah.
Because what is that going to do to me?
Right.
What is that going to do for me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Nothing.
It puts you know what? I tell people, you know, you learn from what you see and you learn from your experience. So what I have learned from what I've seen and experienced allow me to grow day by day. I knew what it took for me to own a shop, to be a good barber, even when I got to my burnout stage. A lot of barbers don't talk about being burnt out. See, I came from the era where barbering was a job. It wasn't no IG, no YouTube. You know, not
back when haircuts was like $15.
Yeah, $15, $20, 10, 15. Edges was $7, tapers was $7. I can go back in time.
For real, I used to back then. I used to get a haircut every 2 weeks and a shape up. Edge up every week.
That's what it was. It was a rotation. You know, haircut, shape up, and so
I was in the shop every week.
And I was grinding in those moments. But I tell barbers, like, I don't knock the elevation of the barber game now, but I've noticed that it's a trend. Barbering has become a trend. Trend means that once it's at its peak, then when reality comes and something changed, the dynamics change. So I've got it when it was, I go see my barber, get a haircut, that's it. I was that barber. And so when I realized going through the veteran stage of my life, becoming a master barber. And I tell people, what makes people a master barber is not what you have learned and how you execute it, it's your experience. You know what I'm saying? So I have between 10 to 12 years of experience as a barber and a barbershop owner. And so with all that experience, I've learned that my competition is not with the guys in my shop. My competition is not with nobody else but myself to become better. And so when I was in the shop working with the guys in Kingdom Cuts, my whole thing was I want y'all to become better than me. And that's crazy because I'm in the shop, I'm the owner. Why do I want my barbers to become better than me? Because I know that I'd rather for them to become better than for them to be stagnated or just putting out just whatever type of cuts. I kept a standard in my shop. I kept a standard, say, hey guys, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep this going. And so like it's moved from a small town Mississippi to San Antonio, man. The barbering is totally different.
I think it's big down here.
It's big, it's big, but it's slow. Watch this. And people
you
say,
explain to me.
Okay, so I love people in San Antonio, but the people in San Antonio, there's a sect of people, majority, I'm gonna say majority, let's say 80% of people overall wants to maintain a haircut weekly or at least maintain bi-weekly. Mm-hmm. But then you have the
3 months, 2 months.
You have the once a month when I feel like it, or my wife or my girlfriend say you need a haircut.
I feel it.
And so,
that's right.
And so think about it. So when barbers say it's been slow, some barbers like, I'll always be busy, whatever, it's cool. But I have slow moments. I just started. I have slow moments. I have slow days. Who doesn't? I'm being transparent. But I realize that when people come in, there's guys that don't care about their hair. To be honest with you, that's really majority here don't really care about hair. And so that experience has caused me to see the area that you're in, because if there's not a lot going on, people are just hard workers and they just want to get haircuts whenever they can or when they have time.
For a special occasion.
For special occasions, and that's it, man. That experience, that rotation of clientele is limited. You know what I'm saying? So, but San Antonio, I train. A lot of people forget, train your clients to be on that rotation. Mm-hmm. Don't just say, come back and see me. Say, no, what type of work you do? Oh, I'm a doctor. I'm a this, I'm a that. Well, look, in that profession, man, you got to maintain your look. See, I teach and train my clients as much as possible when they're in my chair. Even if they never come back, I said something to them for them to remember. You know what I'm saying?
Me too, because I'm good with shears, right?
Yeah.
So I always tell them like how to style their hair.
Yes.
I cut it and I'm like, look, you can do it this way. Next time you do your beard, don't go in so deep. Pull it up a little bit.
Yes.
When you cut your mustache, don't just go down on it because you might be cutting off the length. So what you can do is you can take a one. I teach them how to do that, not because I'm afraid they're going to go to somebody else and tell them to do it. It's because they're not going to mess up the outline that I did.
That's right. That's right. And that's part of, I think I taught you that. I'm just playing with you. But
you probably listen.
No, I'm just playing with you. I ain't taking no credit. But I think that's the major factor in barber, man. So much when barber, man, it's from, I even done competitions. Mm-hmm. I love competitions. I tell my students, my former students, or barbers now, if you need that or need that push, get in barber competitions. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the outcome, win or lose, first, second, third, whatever place, get the experience. Build relationship with people. See how everybody else elevate their game around you much as possible, so you become better. I did hair shows in Mississippi. I did some here in San Antonio. I just did it because I was getting burnt out. And barbers don't talk about being burnt out. Your clients, because people, it's when you clock into a job from a 9 to 5, you guarantee the hours, and even if you miss, you got vacation, you got sick days. But barbering is not like that.
It's not like that.
So that means that people only come to the shop if they're led to come to the shop. And you saying what you mean by that? Besides a message blast or email for a reminder, a person that walks in your shop thought about you in your shop. And so when people get to a place of appointments only and don't have the place for people to walk in, that means that I don't care what nobody say, you limit yourself and limit the place that God, I'm gonna say this, God placed that person, say, go to that shop. But we have got so, structured, that you have appointments back to back, back to back, back to back, that you limit yourself with the walk-ins that can come in. So what I do is I give myself between a 15 and 30-minute marker between my clients. I don't want my clients to book me back to back. I want time for a walk-in because I still have to build my clients in the midst with the clientele that I do have. So I set timers between each phase to take care of my client, take care of the walk-in, client walk-in. Because when somebody want to experience from me and I'm so booked, I'm telling them that I would get you, but at the same time, I'm already booked, so you're going to just have to wait. And people don't really come back after that. So a lot of barbers are, barbershop, people forget that once we change the game to be appointments only, a lot of clients, they said it. They said it to me. I feel like there's nothing wrong with appointments, but if I'm walking in, at least somebody can get me instead of everybody being booked or turning me away. It's like, is my money good enough? Yes, your money. Not the money, but your relationship is good enough to be in my shop. So that's why, I realized,
that's a different outlook.
It is.
I didn't think about it like that.
It is, or and I tell barbershop owners, have barbers in there to get the walk-ins.
Yes.
At least, or space your day out to block 30 minutes for a walk-in. It's not going to hurt. You're not going to lose money. You know what I'm saying?
So let's talk about, you said lose money. Do you think it's wise, or let me take that back. So the way I look at it, right, I think the best barbers, right, to hire are from barber college. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because it's new people who's been in the game for a while, they have their bad habits already.
That's right. I can
They
agree.
have their bad habits,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And I got this from the military, from shooting. They said the best shooters are new shooters because you could teach them the skills and they don't have those bad habits yet. They're not trying to take shortcuts. So why I feel, I'm not a barbershop owner, right?
No.
I just graduated Paul Mitchell last year. Year before last. So I'm kind of still new into this game because I'm a part-time barber.
Gotcha.
Right? So I feel that if you hire barbers from college, barber college or hair school, whatever the case may be, you teach them, you build that relationship. Right? Instead of just, give me your booth mate, give me your booth rent.
That's right.
You teach them how to fade. Right? You do advanced classes.
Right.
Because some of these salons are doing that. You do advanced classes, you teach them how to fade, and you will keep them in your shop. They won't leave. They won't be discouraged because their fades aren't good.
That's right.
They'll be happy because they're on the same level. Not the same level, but at a good enough point to where they can really make money.
Yes. You
know what I'm saying? Because what happens with new barbers, right? They go to a shop, they don't realize the shop is not there to bring them clients. You got to go out there and get clients.
Facts, that's true.
Right?
That's true.
But for me, I don't want to go out there and get clients because my fades aren't where it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm playing that whole mind game.
Yes.
With myself.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not good enough. Am I good enough? I don't know.
Right.
And then, but those new barbers, not me, because I stay. Those new barbers might leave. Because they're like, it's no money here. Let me go over here because I see my buddy getting $300 a day, 1,000 a week, or whatever the case may be. So let me go over there and I'm gonna do that too. But then they go over there and they fall off again because they don't have that skill.
You know what? It's so much with that you talked about because it's ways that I've noticed. You're right. I think getting new barbers from like new barbers from a barber college,
or just have a good mix.
You get a good mix. Yeah, you need a mix. With my experience, people ride with you as long as they enjoy the ride. So, and it's not even, it can be your fault, my fault, or the owner's fault, or it can be that it's growth, or some people want to, come in and change things up and feel like, well, hey, we need to do this type of thing, all that stuff, you might deal with. Through my experience, man, I tell people this. When there's a lot of, I say barbershops or teams to go to, when the draft pick comes, You know, of course, the NBA is different. You know, they choose. You know, not different. It's the same because whatever team chooses that best barber, they want them. You know, I don't go for the first, second, and third, or fifth, or the first round.
Yeah.
I go for maybe the end of the first round or the second and third. People say, why is that? Because some of the best players came from the end of the first round.
They're hungrier.
They're hungrier, or their work ethics are better because when people are talented, they're lazy, and they feel like it's almost self-ambition. You know, I'm good, I'm great, I can do this, but they don't know how to clean their station. They don't know how to sanitize. They don't know how to.
Yeah.
If you're gonna use the restroom, make sure you clean up the restroom that you're using. You know, people have issues with that. I dealt with that personally, and my thing is like the barbers. I kid you not, the barbers that I work with in Mississippi, man, they roll with me between 8 to 10 years, man.
You know why? Because it's big groups of people are hard to control.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, because so many people in that group do other things, right? So it's weak. That foundation is weak.
Right.
When you got, like, let's say 5 friends, it's tight-knit.
Yes.
Right? That foundation would be strong because everybody's on the same page.
That's right. That's right.
If it gets too big, a lot of people might be like, oh, they're not going to see me doing this. They're not going to see me doing that.
Right.
This,
right.
You know, I mean, it's many ways.
It's many ways. And I think the core, because even the guys that I work with, we went through our ups and downs. We had altercations. We had certain moments where, you know, I had to be stern. They had to be stern. I was wrong. They was wrong. Vice versa. It's part of growth. But my whole thing was, you can communicate with me. Communication is the number one thing. Just tell me.
That's relationship.
It's relationship. If we're going to work together every day, I'm telling you, look, I'm just saying, if you're going to work at a barbershop every day and build relationships, and it's fair that you communicate where you at, regardless of what the owner say or feel, regardless of what other barbers say, communicate with them because it shows growth for you. If you switch, if a barber switch to become a barbershop owner and see the responsibilities of the shop, plus to make sure that everybody makes money, it's that the responsibility is great. You know, and I've realized that if I couldn't handle being a barbershop owner, I wouldn't be a barbershop owner. But I think because of the growth and what God has placed in me to be a leader at a young age until now, is that I can carry that weight. You know what I'm saying?
And not everybody's leaders.
And
that's a problem too.
Yeah, but you know what though? If everybody's a leader, then who's leading the leader?
Exactly.
So it's nothing wrong to be a follower, because even Jesus had followers.
But that's how I tell people too, like, listen, we need people sanitation workers. We need people to work at grocery stores. We need people to work at McDonald's. We need people to work at 7-Eleven.
Right.
Not everybody can own these places.
That's right. That's right.
Like to me, like I told somebody, I talk to people all the time. So like this podcast is really to like put people on, like give people knowledge. Because I'm not making no money from this. I don't care to make money from nobody.
Yeah.
I just want to, I feel like the knowledge I give people can help the world.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
It can help, like how you talked about in the beginning. People they just stay home, so now they have opportunity to do other things.
That's right. That's right.
You know, so I want to show people like, yo, you can make money.
Yeah.
It's money out here to be made. And making money, now you can take care of your family. Now you don't have to steal from somebody to get ahead in life. Now you don't have to be on the corner selling drugs. Now you don't have to be selling your body on OnlyFans. Now you don't, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So forth and so forth.
Yeah.
You can actually be a positive person in society. And by being a positive person in society, now the world is becoming a better place.
You know what? I like that. I thought it was something great when you said, I'm going to say this to you. Like I didn't charge him. He asked me to come. I'm going to say this on this podcast. Because he respects, we have a pretty cordial, cool relationship.
Yeah.
And it's where when we see each other, we connect. It's not no, what's up, bro? How you doing? That's it. I asked about his family, everything. So when he asked me to come up here, I was honored. Like, for real.
And
like,
I was honored. Like, you have you're celebrity in my eyes. Like, for real.
I appreciate that. It to me, it made me feel like At times, you feel like you're not reaching people. You feel like you're not impacting their lives. But when somebody come back and say, I want you to be part of something, it means the world to me. And because of that, because of this moment that you're having, I'm going to just, I ain't going to get deep. I'm going to speak this into existence that in the next year or two, this podcast, what you're doing, will be elevated beyond what you can think. It's going to be from small scale to the large scale. So look forward to that because you're inviting, I'm not charging, but the thing about it, because of your heart, it's going to last longer. And I tell people that because I'm going to tell you this too. In the Bible, it talks about God gave people certain talents. He has given.
Yes.
Nobody has been born. I'm telling you, I don't care if you have 1 to 10. Even if you have one gift, one talent, God has given you that. Mm-hmm. When the most people that's talented are in the graves because life have consumed them, mm-hmm. and they compare what I have 1, you have 2, I have 3, you have 4, I have 5, and so what it becomes competition. So I know that the talents that God has given me, I'm maximizing it. I'm doing what it takes because God said when I'm not trying to get religious and nothing like that. But
I be having to tell people that too. Like, look, I don't know what you believe in, but look, this is what I believe in.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm speaking truth. So this is a lifestyle that I'm saying that if I have 3 talents that God has given me, He knows that I have the capacity. Watch this, to know the talent, to understand the talent, and perform it. And all those 3, that builds a legacy. You know what I'm saying? So, thank God that I wasn't so consumed with different things in my life that I struggle with, that He was there to say, not just because of your talents, because a lot of people got on drugs, they couldn't handle it, mm-hmm. Got, different, trauma experience, mm-hmm. whatever, and their talents is buried. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
My mom.
Yeah. And because of that, I tell you today, like whenever you hear this podcast, whenever, from now until whenever, that one talent or 2 or 3 to 10, whatever talents that God has given you, you maximize it. And it's not for just me or for you. It's mm-hmm. for other people. Mm-hmm. So I realized that I don't use my barbering for self-glorification.
Facts.
I use it to touch people's lives. That's why I feel like I'm so blessed. You know what I'm saying? I feel blessed with a strong team. People forget this. You need a strong team behind you.
Yes.
You need blood family. If you don't have blood family, God will give you a spiritual family like a church mm-hmm. or organization, to help equip you for where you need to be at. Because when people see me or what I'm doing, the relationship that we have, they forget that I have a leader that I'm following my leader, my dad, my pastor. I love Bishop Brown and his wife and my brother, my mom, my sisters, everybody that's so connected with me. They showed me when I felt like I wasn't smart enough to go back to college to get my occupational therapy assistant degree, or I'm back in college now as a barber to get my bachelor's in healthcare management, is because my team tell me, man, you bigger than barbering. Mm-hmm. You can do more than that. So I maximize my talent as a barber and everything that came with it, and then I'm maximizing my occupational skills based on, if I decide to go back into that field and healthcare management to operate small scale facilities, is because that people push me to get there, man. And so with all of that being said, if you say that, well, I don't have a strong team or a lot of people hate on me, that means you need to get new people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I trust.
And don't stop working.
And don't stop working. I lost people and I gained, but I'm not in the corner crying because I trust a small sector. When people say small circles, I have a small circle, and outside of the circle, I have a crowd of associates. That means people that I'm cool with, mm-hmm. but when it comes to protection, who got my best interest, is my small circle.
I'm the same exact way. That's why you don't see me out and about with people. You don't see me out here in the streets doing crazy.
I'm telling you.
And really, I just be moving on my own.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
and that's the best
every
move.
time you see me, I'm always by myself. And because that way I can still be cool with everybody.
That's right.
Because like when you have a lot of people in your circle, mm-hmm. they be beefing with this person. Now you beefing with this. I don't want none of that.
That's too much. Man, that's too much, man. you know, I tell people, once you start growing, you know who's for you, you know who's against you. You know what I'm saying? And people say, well, you know, some people know their enemies. You know the crazy thing about it, man. I never share this with anybody. Like it's in just my close circle, but I want to share this with you. That I don't know my enemies.
Me neither. I don't think I care for them.
That's you know. Then the Bible say pray for your enemies.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, how I don't know who my enemies are because I had altercations or you know confrontations and stuff with people, you know, and I'm not that type of guy. You know me. You never really see me outside that element because that's part of me that's dead. But through the midst of that, like I realized, like, you know, with people always want to stunt in front of people based on what they have in front of their enemies. Don't do that. You know why? Because you lose blessings by wanting to prove to people where you at in life. If you go on my Instagram, I show my work based on my growth, and I show my work to build clientele. I'm the best at where I'm at with the clients that I'm with, but I'm not saying I'm better than some guy in New York. Or
You're just the best for your clients.
My clients, that's it. And so, in the midst of all that, you know, I don't post. I gotta be careful saying this. I don't post everything that I do for people. I don't have a camera in the corner showing me giving gratitude or saying, "Here's some money," or "I'm giving back to the homeless." I don't even like when
people do that.
You know when people do that, this is crazy. See, the Bible says that, you know, whatever you do, I'm quoting it. Whatever you do in secret, I'm going to reward you openly. But what has damaged blessings where God can reward us openly is social media. Because social media shows how real you are or how fake you are. And so people, you know, I'm not going to post that many times I have cut hair for the homeless. But I'm not going to post that. That's another man's pride in the camera to say, I'm cutting his hair and he's poor. Now, you gave him a haircut. My thing is this. Did you give him somewhere to stay? Did you show that? Did you give them a bath or allow them to feed them? Or see, it's a difference to that. See, if I give a homeless man a haircut, he's still homeless. So I feel like I'm not going to put another man or woman pride on the line because I need some likes or to say that I'm a good person. I'm a good person regardless if nobody clicks on my page or not. But the people around me that have affected in their lives or encouraged them, they know who I am. So I'd rather for somebody catch me in the act of doing it instead of recording myself in the act. So only blessing that people get when they do that is how many likes that they get.
You know what's crazy?
Not nothing rewarded open from God.
So I first moved back here in 2016. No. Let's go before that. So I got out of the Army in 2014. And then I came down here for about 6 months. I went to Dallas first, and I came down here in January. And I didn't know nobody down here. I was on my own. So one day I seen this kid. I was on the east side. I seen this Hispanic kid at Walgreens over there by the HEB. You know what I'm talking about? By HEB. And it's a Jack in the Box right there, too.
Okay.
In that, like, four-corner area. So I seen this kid, and I was like, he's like, hey, can I get $2? And I'm like, I'm going to give it to you. And I was like, how old are you? And we was the same age.
Wow.
And I was just like, dang. I was like, man, I don't eat Jack in the Box.
Right.
So I was like, man, you want to go eat Jack in the Box, man? We can chop it up. You know what I'm saying? I was giving this kid food. Him and his girl, actually.
Wow.
They was together. Every day. I actually had them working for me, too.
Wow.
Because I did like little side jobs.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I was selling like internet and all this other stuff.
Gotcha.
And I gave him a job, bro. But the problem is I wasn't around him all day. Yeah. So got in trouble. But I didn't tell nobody about that. I mean, some of my friends see me. They're like, yo, what? I'm we chilling. Like, here comes my place. I let him shower. Whatever clothes I had, I give it to him. Yeah. And it's like, and I'm not fancy. Like, you have never seen me dress. You probably see me in like shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. like, some Nikes and a hat. That's it.
That's it. So whatever I had, I'll just give.
Right.
I don't need to be like fancy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't. And That's why
I don't have that taste. First of all,
yeah,
I don't have that style.
Yeah, and so hey, right? I like the fedora, customize, little stuff. I like,
but it's just for me though. Like, I don't care. I'm tall.
Yeah,
that's good enough.
Yeah, he's tall. Yeah, I don't want him stand up next to me because I'm gonna look like a action figure.
That benefits me. I'm tall. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But yeah, like I do see people like, look, I just gave this homeless man money, or they try to be petty.
Yeah,
give him 50 cents.
Yeah.
Like, what is he gonna do with that? And then laugh like, yeah, I just gave him 50 cents.
Yeah.
Like, what is that gonna do?
It don't. People needs. It's crazy. See, people need to be validated so much that they through their actions they do things to feel like they're doing something good to people for themselves. I live a selfless and a selfish, like an unselfish lifestyle because another thing I thought about, it's just crazy. So the more that God gives us, it should be like a river, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like the Mississippi River, man, it starts from the very top of North America, but if anything stops the flow of the Mississippi River, it's no longer a river. So what you're saying, whatever comes from above, God gives and he flows through us. I'm not the type of person. See, this is what I'm going to say. Let me go this real quick. I'm going to get off the subject and come back. I charge for my S&P class, right?
Mm-hmm.
I charge for advanced classes if you want to sit down and things like that. No issue. But when it's come to free game, I give it out more.
Me too.
The reason why is because if God gave me the capacity to learn something, then if I know I can't charge for something that you can just really, like, I don't know, just look up or whatever, and I know something that can help, I give it for free. Now, because of my S&P class, it's a certification that comes behind. That's why I charge. But a lot of different things, I'm not going to charge you how to become a better barber. It's weird. Not taking content from nobody because we all find avenues because we need things like that. But I'd say this, experience that you have in life will teach you how to become better. I learned from my last haircut. So if I know that I did something higher than what I did, I'm not going to do that no more on the next cut, on that next client. I've learned from my mistake. So anyways, because of the rivers flowing in life that God has given, I realized that I don't hold the flow of the river for myself, to glorify myself. I keep allowing it to flow in my life. Because the more I allow it to keep flowing in my life, that means that every current in my life that things come through don't stick there long enough. So when I can be mad and angry at someone because I have a river flowing through me, guess what happens? Those things don't stick to the side of the river. You know what I'm saying? It's steady flowing to the Gulf of Mexico. So I realized that that's why I don't hold grudges with people. Exactly. I'm not mad at nobody. I can get upset and feel some type of way, but guess what? After I have my spat with it,
I just go my way and let you be.
I can sleep at night. I'm good, and I can see the person that has hurt me, had done any damage to me, and I'm okay with it.
And I'll just say what's up and keep it moving.
Keep it moving. It's a river that flows through us.
And another thing too, this is why I'm not afraid to telling people, giving out game.
Yes,
I'm not afraid to tell nobody what I'm gonna do, because at the end of the day, they could try to do what I'm gonna do. Right. They don't have my brain.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Like, if something happened, I'm gonna know how I'm gonna diverge. How to adjust.
Right.
You're not, because you copying me. Now you got to come to me and ask me. And I'll tell you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, but just don't try to be sneaky and be like, oh, I'm going to do this because he doing it. Or whatever. Yeah. At the end of the day, honestly, I don't mind what people are doing. I'm about to say I don't care what people are doing. It doesn't affect me.
It doesn't. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it really doesn't. Like, 100 people in San Antonio could have a podcast. That's cool. I'm going to be happy for them. Like,
that's
for
right.
real.
That's right.
I'm like, yo, good job. Like, yo, that's dope.
Yep.
Because I still have my own thing.
You're going to have your own audience.
Yeah.
You're going to have your own subscribers.
So, I don't know why people be like, oh, I'm not going to teach him how to cut hair. Or I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to show him how to make money.
Now look,
and I like it because you got to feed your family just like I got to feed my family.
Exactly.
So we both benefiting.
That's crazy. I'm gonna tell you this. This is one thing I've done before, man. in Mississippi, man, I end up doing a class. Me and two other barbers, man. We got together, and I was trying to start like a team. We named it like Team Paramount because we was trying to. It was a stylist and two barbers, including me, and we was trying to give barbers in that area the opportunity. Listen, my competition that was down the street from me, or whatever, in a 2 or 3 mile radius, I end up inviting all the barbers in the area to teach them how to do shear cuts. Now,
but that's dope though.
But that's great. Now, ask. I'm just saying. When was the last time that you are teaching another barbershop down the street how to elevate their game?
But I think, and this is the thing. This is the knock I have with San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in competition with each other. This is a community. We should come together. The barber community come together. It's enough people for all of us. In New York, it's a barbershop right here. Across the street, it's a barbershop. Probably on that corner is another barbershop. And they all cool with each other.
Yeah. And you see, what makes
only
me,
some people be jealous, but they all really be cool with each other.
It really is. You know what?
It's like basketball.
It really is. I mean, when I was giving out, the class and everything like that. Of course, they had to pay for the class, but if
it was free, nobody would come.
Or opposite where I'm from, I think a lot of people would come.
But like in big areas,
no,
people won't come.
Yeah, so it's so much because of the mindset, So we gave out, man. Cause it's funny because the Latino community started growing, and from 2007 all the way up to now,
I know
it's almost a takeover. There's nothing wrong, for that. But they didn't understand how to do shear because they didn't know how to do shears. And because I didn't have YouTube back then, I had experience. So I'm learning how to do certain cuts and style just by saying, which way should I go? Should I do 90? Should I do a 45? Should I bring it out? 180? Do I do back? I learned it by experience. And so I was teaching them the game. Kid you not, I love my hometown, but my dreams were so big. It's so much I wanted to do, but the space and the mindset was limited. It's nothing. When you leave from your hometown to go out, like the Bible say, it's people can't respect you no more because number one, because they know you. That's the biggest thing. When we become familiar with the people around you, me, whoever doesn't have the opportunity to grow and to learn from that person once you get familiar with them. It mean you be so too cool. Either I can take advantage of that. Be like, man, that's just that. He just got a little podcast. Just knocking. But in my heart, I'm like, oh, we just cool. But I'm still tearing you down because I got familiar with you. So that's what happened in my hometown. That's why I'm glad I left, because I still have love there in Mississippi. But when I came here to San Antonio, bro, I kid you not, bro, it almost quadruple, because people respected my gift.
And your new face.
And in the new field, I'm from Mississippi, young but cool, funny, goofy, whatever. They love that. I can teach, be serious, and come back and still, be a friend. And the level of respect, man, it is. I'm so glad I'm here, bro. I don't even meeting you and other barbers and people that respect me and my gift, man, it's unmatched, man.
Bro,
I ain't gonna cry behind it. I want to drop a tear. But it's real.
I remember I'm not gonna say no names. I don't really like name dropping.
Yeah, that's right.
But somebody came and did a class there. They didn't do a class. They're trying to sell something. If I say what it is, I don't know if you know.
I don't, but we talk about it after this.
So they try to sell some stuff and they're promoting themselves.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, and it was like, oh, I'm the best barber, this and that. And I was like, yo, I'll put $1,000 on top right now. You remember that?
I don't, but who?
Yeah.
Okay. We talk about it. We talk about okay.
So like, cause I don't like when people would just come there. When people come to like the barber school or cosmetology school, they always trying to sell you something.
Yeah.
They always want to get money out of you.
Yeah.
When me and Mr. Charlie go to these places, I'm like, look, I ain't here to sell y'all nothing.
That's right.
Matter of fact, if you got a t-shirt, I'm gonna buy it.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
I always support people. You had your enhancements.
Yeah.
I was buying it.
You sure
I'm
was.
always gonna support people because most people just want to take, right?
Yes.
I want to give back. You know
That's
what I mean?
real.
And it's not like I'm not rich at all.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But God gave me something to give back.
That's
because
fair.
I grew up with nothing. And people, of course, helped me along the way.
Yes.
So now I feel like I'm helping people along the way. My phone goes off at least 5 times a day. People asking me for advice.
Wow.
I'm like, that's crazy. Like you know?
Yes.
And then another thing too, before we wrap this up. So we was in the shop. I was in the shop the other day, like a week or two ago. And I was cutting this old guy hair, Mr. JoJo. He's very like 80, maybe 90 years old, right? And he was like, "Can I call you King David?" And I told him no. Right?
Yeah.
And people was like, "Why are you saying no?" Like everybody was like, "Yo, call me King this, King that."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Nah, it's because." And then there's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Because King David really was whack. Like he was trash. He was good in the beginning when he, before people was trying to come after him. But then when people came after him, he switched and went evil. Remember, he stole his best friend's wife.
Yeah, he
got her pregnant, and they got his best friend killed.
Yeah.
I don't want to be known like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got you.
It was cool in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then after the, after the turmoil and all of that, he went evil. I want to stay the same all the way around.
Yeah, and another thing about King David, man, that's the crazy thing about it was he still was a man after God's own heart.
No, he definitely was.
He through the midst of, and see, I'm glad you said that because people only remember
him killing Goliath
or just him taking his best friend's wife, but people forget that only that. I think that's how we look at things. We have to change and say to ourselves that at the end of the day, through the midst of my struggle, when I say no man is perfect, meaning that we make mistakes. But when it comes to doing like when I say sin or doing things as abomination, that if you at a place of saying, okay, this is because David struggled with women. That's his biggest thing, because he was a king, and there was no limitation on wives and concubines. So that desire, just as what drugs is and everything else, those endorphins, those testosterones is there, and that was one of his biggest weaknesses, and he knew it. See, when a man recognizes his weaknesses, he can grow and he can stay humble. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's very significant because to me, not saying this, I know people get into this black stuff, king and queen. I'm not knocking that. I love our race, but as a whole, as blacks, we do have a strength that can't be broken. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to tell you that you have a strength that can't be broken because what God has given us, not just African Americans, but mankind, is that he gave us a strength that if we can almost feel weak, but we can't be broken enough to give up on life, and just give up on certain things. Even if you have given up on your dreams and stuff, go back to it.
Go back to it.
You know what I'm saying?
Keep moving forward. Keep moving the feet.
I'd rather know that I worked my dream out, and if I messed it up or it didn't work out, hey, at least I tried. Instead of me saying, what if I? What if? So, but yeah, I definitely, man. Yes,
so
sir.
How can people book with you haircuts?
Yeah.
Let them know how they can book with you haircut.
Yeah, so I have the Cut app. You can type in Ty Morrison, and it will pop up. You can reach me on my IG, Twin City, the number 1, all lowercase, the number 1. You can follow me on that. I have my link as well. Check me out. I also do micropigmentation classes.
Yes.
I'm a certified instructor, so I can get you certified. I'm in the funny
What
thing.
about hair units?
Hair units, I teach that as a continuing educational class. Of course, you're already licensed. Look, you're already licensed. When you get your barber license, you're licensed to do hair units.
Yes.
But it changed, So if you want that, get the opportunity for me to teach, I do hands-on. Okay. I provide everything. The price differs based on if you're in barber college or you're professional. But I'm an open book, man. I'm the type of person, if you want to call and just dialogue or get some information, I don't care what side of town you're on. You can be next door to me. You can be in Alaska. It doesn't matter. Like, I have if you want somebody to talk to about what's my next move in life, I'm here for that. That's just me. So I do have a barbershop. I just opened up July 1st, Ace and Faye's Barber Lounge, LLC. We are 410 in Marbach.
I definitely looked that up. And then it was two that popped up, and then the LLC one. I was like, it got to be this one. Because the other one is somewhere.
Pleasanton.
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 I was like, I know he's not in Pleasanton.
Yeah, nah. So we that was a conflict because of our names, and
so
with
LLC.
LLC. Then because of our Google reviews, we were kind of like almost number one in the area. I have a lot of people, man. This is crazy. Real quick, I know we're finna go, but I had a lot of people booked because they're looking for a black-owned barbershop, and then they was looking for African American that can cut that texture, our texture of hair, and be diversified and everything that they're looking for. And they said they looked up. One guy told me this. I don't know if he was just stroking my ego or whatever, but he told me he looked up the best black barber, and some kind of way, in the midst of all the algorithm, I pulled up, and it led from the shop to my profile. And he said from that day when he see my profile, and the Cut app has a lot of people, that has way more reviews, but he saw what I can do. And he said, I want to go to that guy. And that means something to me. I don't care what nobody said. When somebody booked me out the blue and it's new, I'm excited because you trust me some kind of way. So it's not like, I'm getting some extra money today. Nah, who is this guy?
You're almost like LeBron James. You're wanted.
Yeah, I'm wanted. I love that feeling. You know what I'm saying? When I'm not wanted, I feel. Nah, I don't feel no type of way. But nah, it's a good thing. So I appreciate it.
How many barbers do you have in your shop right now?
Right now, I have 4. I'm looking for another barber. I'm hesitant of looking for another barber, but I do need another barber. If you want to reach me, you can go to my IG, inbox me. I'm looking for licensed barbers that has a good base clientele, and we can go for the rest of the info after we meet. I do also do a interview.
You don't do no more contracts?
I know, and that's good. I'm finna do. You need contracts around here.
I remember you said you used to do contracts. I remember everything.
You do, and I think, and not
people don't want to do that no more.
People, but you know what? When you sign your mortgage over to go to a leasing office, you are renting, and it shows in paper that hey, I'm going to be responsible for this.
Oh, I know.
Time.
Small claims court.
And
my favorite place.
And look, and I tell people, like, for barbershop owners, you need some type of agreement.
Insurance.
You need it because people will, leave. Regardless of how they leave, people leave. And you just have to be prepared to say. I tell people at least 3, 6 month to a year contract. To solidify, it keeps the owner and the barber accountable to that contract.
So real quick, my thing to you is, because I'm not an owner. So I feel like, me being on the outside, I feel like 1 or 2 barbers leaving your shop should not hinder you that much. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Because like business, right? So in my mind, I should have a shop that I can maintain by myself.
Exactly. You're right.
And
you're right.
Those barbers are coming there are extra.
Yes.
And their booth rent, I collect all of that every month. Yes. And then I save that for my next shop.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's the way I look at it.
And you're exactly 100%.
But a lot of owners, they get mad. This is why I say I don't get mad if they leave. If a barber leave, don't get mad. Like, cool, you do your thing, I'm gonna do my thing.
That's right.
Because my business got to keep trucking.
You gotta keep going. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like the owner should have enough money or figure out an outline to look. This is what I'm gonna do. This is how I'm gonna do it. If I have a barber, yes, that's cool. But I don't need you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. And that's one thing. When I got into the shop that I'm at now, I did the balance sheet, the income statement of what it looks like for me to maintain the shop. And I have a business partner. This is my first time having a business investor partner in this thing. And Angel Rivera, shout out to him, was one of my former barber students, and he told me 5 years ago, that he want to do business with me because of my experience. And 5 years later, man, we have a shop together. So that's crazy. So, but long story short, even, God forbid, even if he walks away from it, I can maintain the shop by myself.
And
if nobody's
supposed to.
And that's I never go in. I would never open up a barber shop depending on barbers.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that because everybody has their growth. Everybody has their moment. So when I realized that if I can take care of everything in the shop, because people forget you got two sets of bills. You have the shop bills, you have your personal. And so if you can maintain that plus have a cash flow after that, you're doing good. If you can't do that, if everybody walk out that day and rent is due the next day, if you can't handle it, then
you don't need to be.
You don't
because
need to be.
Because a lot of people are opening shops and they can't
maintain it.
Yeah. And then the shop never grows because they can't maintain it by themselves. Like me and Mr. Charlie talk about relationships.
That's true.
I get apartments or a house or whatever I get, wherever I live, I make sure I can do it by myself.
Right. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So if my roommate leave, my girl leave me, whatever the case may be, I'm not going to be homeless.
I know that's right. You can maintain.
So
yes, sir.
that's the same way as business. Because me and my little brother, we do business stuff on the side. Like I've been doing this since I was 18. Right? Yeah. I've been in stock since I was 18. But everything I do, I make sure I can do it on my own.
Yes.
Because sometimes I can't communicate with my brother. He's in the Army now. He deploys here and there. But I still can do the same things.
Right.
Everything I do, I make sure I'm knowledgeable to hold it down.
Right.
Same thing with the podcast. I make sure I'm knowledgeable to hold it down myself.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And Mr. Charlie can too.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's exactly why I brung him on.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he do that. At first I was looking at you, I was like, but he's busy. You know what I'm saying?
I feel some type of way.
I was like,
I'm
he's busy, he's a busy guy. Because I was gonna do this back in 2018.
Wow.
2017, 2018, a long time ago. When I was in barber college.
Yes.
Actually, when I was in barber college, towards the end of my barber college, I was like, I'm gonna make a podcast. Well, I'm gonna have not a podcast. I was gonna have video cameras follow me around, like a whole little reality TV.
Yeah. That's fine.
It's just the people I hung out with.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it because they
right.
had baby mama drama, and I was like, I don't want to portray that. You know what I'm saying? So
you need people to be focused around
yeah.
you. But I extend my hand if you ever need me for like
We're
filler.
Gonna do more.
Yeah, man. Bro. We could whatever you want to do. You call me like, hey, I want you to come. I'll cry in the bathroom and be like, he asked me to do a podcast.
We're gonna do more. And actually, I'm gonna tell you when we go off camera too.
Okay, bet. Sounds good, man.
That's all I got for today. This is Smack Talk Podcast. Today we had Tyron.
You know what, man? Thank you.
Morrison, Twin City 1 on IG.
Yes.
Ace of Face Barbershop.
Barber Lounge. Yeah.
Look, you going back to the tonsor?
Dapper tonsor. That's my. Yeah. I got the hat beard. So the Dapper tonsor. That's my for my S&P and for my hair unit
most
class.
people don't use that. You know it's crazy. I keep going. We can talk forever.
Yeah.
But when you first told me tonsor, I had to look it up. Like, what does that mean? That is different. I always do research.
Yeah.
One thing about me is I'm always going to do research.
Yes. So, it means to cut, to shave. You know what I'm saying? To give a service. And so I realized Dapper is a place where it's a prestige place. And so I want to be prestige as I cut. That's why we named the Ace of Face Barber Lounge. Shout out to my business partner Angel because he said Ace is the highest suit, is the highest card in the suit. Unless you start adding jokers and stuff, man, whatever, big joker, little joker, but Ace is the highest suit. So we want to make sure that what we give to our clients is the highest quality cuts, the highest in serving, the highest in maintaining, whatever it is that we want to make sure that we at our peak every time that we perform. Perfect. So that's what we do, man.
All right, man. Thanks for showing
man. Thank you, man. Many blessings to you, man. You got this, man.
Yeah, thank you. All right, y'all. We out of here.
We out. 1.